right. Well, we're here back. Finally get to do interviews again. We're so excited that you've joined Calvary. So, Rici, spelled R-I-C-I, which is the coolest spelling of that. Can you tell us where you're joining on? What part, what team, department?
In the preschool, I'm the new admin.
So good. And you have had experience with Teresa before, right?
Yes.
That's so cool. How long have you worked with her?
I worked with her for 7 years over at Hope.
Wow.
And then before that, she was a teacher to some of my kiddos. And so I've known her for a very long time.
So cool. Well, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
How do you know, or how did you know definitively that God placed you here?
I think God put people in my life that kind of took me on a journey, and just on a whim I looked and I was like, wait, there's a position there, and I was like, well, I'll just apply.
That's so good. So far, are you glad God brought you here?
Oh, absolutely. I love it.
What do you love most about so far?
I love the opportunity to serve everyone. Everything here is so welcoming, everyone's so welcoming, and it's just such a team from top to bottom everywhere.
Okay, so fun question. If you had 7 minutes to teach me anything, maybe even something that you believe I need to know, what would you teach me?
I'd probably go back to my coaching roots and teach you how to throw a softball.
Wow, coaching. I didn't know. That's amazing. What did you coached softball?
I coached softball. Yeah.
Wow, for how long?
I coached for 3 years over at Hope in the middle school. And all of my girls have played softball. I played softball growing up, so it's just a big thing. But I'm not exclusively coached softball. I've coached volleyball and basketball as well.
Wow,
so,
that's amazing. Go you.
Yeah.
My mom did softball and basketball when she was in high school. So cool. Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for saying yes to Jesus.
Absolutely.
By coming on board. We know that not only are the kids that you're going to be working with, but the families, because you're the administrator, right? The families you're going to be touching.
Love it.
So we're excited. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. Thanks.
Justin, we're so glad to have you on team. I've gotten to know you for a while now. I think maybe 5 or 6 years. I remember when you were in high school. I love that. The peak is when I met you.
It's been a long time.
Well, I'm glad that you're on team. So can you tell us where, even though I kind of gave a little hint to where you're joining, what department?
So I am joining the Battle Drums department. And while I'm not a worship leader, my title is worship assistant. So I'm just here to help out, to take on whatever needs to be done. I do still sing. I've been singing for a little while.
Yes, you have.
But I help us cover some of those little nooks and crannies that sometimes get overlooked.
Nooks and crannies.
Yeah.
I like it. How did you know definitively that God brought you here?
I have always had a passion for music since I was young. It wasn't until maybe the end of high school that I started singing. Battle drums was kind of that first step into really serving and using my talents that God had given me. And then I've always been someone who likes doing kind of administrative work, behind the scenes stuff, organizing things, just making things easier for people around me. And when I saw that this position was kind of an opportunity for me, I really thought that it was a good meshing of those two things, that it really put those two together in a way that I could really serve.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you could teach me anything in 7 minutes,
Okay.
what would you teach me?
A proper squat, like a barbell squat.
Okay.
So I coach track and field athletes, and that's kind of generated a passion for fitness for me.
Are you saying I need it? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's up to you.
All right.
But I could teach you.
In 7 minutes.
Less than 7 minutes.
And you coach at the school that you went to, right? Academy.
I do.
The academy.
Yeah.
Very
I do
cool.
coach too, and I love it.
Well, thank you for joining. Thank you for saying yes to the Lord.
Thank you. My pleasure.
You work at Chick-fil-A?
No? It's a good one.
Gabriel, I'm so glad that I get to know you. One, because I work really close to you, and I get to hear your encouragement every day. You work where?
I work at the front desk with Corinne and Jeanette.
So good. You have a military background, right?
I retired as a lieutenant with Albuquerque Police. Actually.
Oh, okay. Albuquerque Police. For how long?
For almost 23 years.
Wow, wild. How did you know definitively? Because I remember when you were being interviewed, Cesar, was saying there's this guy and he's totally overqualified for the position. How did you know that God placed you here for this time?
My background in training in Bible school for 4 years and then 2 years of seminary, I just have a hunger for serving the Lord wherever, whether it be out in the world, in the business, with such as Albuquerque Police or at the post office, which is where I was even before this.
Wow. One final question. If you were to teach me something in 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
You only have 7 minutes to teach me. What would you teach me?
Shiny boots. And it's kind of an unorthodox way of shiny boots. I was taught by a Marine that was out of my class and the oldest man to graduate from the Albuquerque Police Department.
Wow.
I was struggling with shiny boots and I was getting in trouble in my inspections. And he actually took me aside and showed me.
Very cool. I mean, hey, let's go for it. Mine can't be shined right now. But love it. Well, thank you so much for joining.
Yes, sir.
And being at the front desk, you're on the front lines of a lot of different kinds of calls.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for choosing to do that and for serving this church that way.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.